Hello and welcome. We are up here in the mountains. I can't say where exactly, but we are doing. We're checking out, looking for Bigfoot, interviewing my grandparents to tell stories about what happened up in these mountains and a few other places.
Hi, my name is Dero, and a couple of years back, I'm up here in the Kaimishu Mountains camping. And a couple of years ago, I brought my newly Connie Corso, and she was only 2. And we brought her with us, and she was whimpering. And so I asked her if she needed to go outside, and she looked at the door, and it was just a weird look she gave the door. And I said, "You don't want to go outside, go potty?" She just kept looking at the door. All right, so I got back in bed and snuggled down. Then a couple of minutes, I hear this on my side of the tent, right by my head. And I turned over and looked at my husband, Michael, and said, "Something just snipped my hair through the tent." He said, "I heard it." "Where's the gun?" I said, "Right next to you." And it was odd because we had put tracer bullets in the first couple of shots in the gun. And he grabbed the gun. He motioned for Enid to come with him, and Enid just sat down. That's our dog. She just sat down and looked at me. And so he stepped out, looks towards the woods, and shoots above because we don't want to kill anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see out, and I'll say it, I think it was Bigfoot. That was the biggest sniff I ever heard in my life. And it's up here in the mountains. He comes and shakes our tents and our chairs. And
Was it the same tent?
Same tent, yeah, actually. And then that was it.
Yes, my name is Michael E. Rowe. I come down here to the Kaimishu Mountains. I camp and do a little research for Sasquatch, or better known as Bigfoot. On October 11th, 2020, I was camped in the same location. We arrived late. We got here about 9:30, and there was another gentleman here meeting us named Chuck. I will not disclose his last name. That's unimportant. But we got here and set tent up, and it was too late then to do anything. But Chuck was in his camp, in his tent, along with his grandsons, and Chuck said something was prowling around the camp. Well, we had an SUV that time. We got an SUV, and we turned on night vision. And behind his tent, my wife, Dee, seen something standing behind his tent, which I didn't see it, or I didn't want to see it. But then I kind of brushed her off as it not being anything. So we all went to bed. About 1 o'clock, something howled. It was a real deep howl. It was almost vibrate your chest. It was kind of a scary howl. After that, tree knocks started, and 27 separate times tree knocks went off.
How often was it? Was it like
Every hour or so, but it was like every 15 minutes. We were camped in this exact same spot right here.
Do you want to show where it knocked, or where you think it knocked?
In the brush back off to my right, back off in this direction here. But you step this way, it's straight into a valley. Now, what's bad is you get to that edge right there, and it goes into the valley. Something could walk all the way up to the edge, and you won't be able to see it. It can see you, but you can't see it. So the yell started. So finally, we went to sleep. Periodically all night, I could hear something walking in the tent, around the tent. And then something was throwing little stones at us all night, our tent.
Was this the same night that it smelled grandma's hair?
No, it's a separate night. I'll discuss it later. So it was throwing something at the tent. Well, the whole woods went dead silent. And when it would howl, all the coyotes would start howling with it. Finally, it got to the point that it pushed one of these giant trees over, like you see beside me here, pushed it off on the edge here, pushed it over. These trees are massive trees. It pushed it over. And then it come to the tent. I was laying there in the tent, where the tent's at now, pretty much now, and I seen something pressing down on the tent. At that time, I pulled the pistol out of our holster and just on safety, waited for it, hoping it wouldn't try to attack. This went on all night, about 5.5 hours. At the time, I had audio running, an audio file open and running. We counted 27 tree knocks. We had some vocalizations. We had the tree getting pushed over. This was a ordeal that lasted all night. So about 6 in the morning, I get up and we make coffee. We sounded like it was tearing the camp up. We'd get up and come out here and nothing was disturbed. It was kind of strange. But we could hear something walking off in this direction here. If you'll pan over there. It was over across the road. We could hear something walking in the brush. So because we were armed and it was daylight, we're a little braver than we were the night before. We ventured across the road. And we walked up the road a little ways and we seen where a tree was twisted. I told my wife, Dee, to stand in front of the tree for a scale to show how high this was up. And in doing so, I took the pictures and I sent them to a friend of mine, showed him the tree twist and break. And he noticed something sitting behind my wife in the brush that I didn't see when I took the pictures. Now, we could have wrote it off as just wanting to see things, but then it moved. The whole head turned, and I knew right then it was a live animal because it turned its head with us. The following spring, we come down here and camped again, except not in the same location. We were down the road about, 200 yards down the road. In the middle of the night, we heard the same howls we heard when we camped here before. We thought nothing of it, went on to sleep. About 3 in the morning, I was awoken by something sniffing, and it was a real loud sniff. And my wife leaned over and goes, she told me, something sniffing in my hair through the tent. And I told her, yes, I can hear it. At that time, I reached over and grabbed the pistol and put a shell in the chamber. And I unzipped the tent. And I called for my dog. I raised Connie Corsos, Italian Mastiffs. They're formerly called the Roman dogs of war. These are very big, strong animals. Well, I called for my dog, and my dog refused to come out of the tent. The dog cowered down in the corner, which is unusual because I thought it was maybe a bear out here. Well, most dogs will chase a bear. But whatever's out here, my dog would not even come out.
And out here, isn't it? There are a lot of bears out here.
Yes. So I stepped out of the tent with the pistol and walked around to the back side of it. At that time, something took off running away from the tent.
How many legs did it have?
It was bipedal. It was a two-legged animal. I thought it was like a giant man. So I knew it wasn't a bear. After saying some really, foul language at it, because I thought it was a man at first, I fired 2 shots. I keep tracers in my pistol so I can see where the rounds are going at night. Above it, as it was running away. Later on that night, everybody went back to sleep. After about an hour, I could hear somebody talking inside the camp, but I could not understand what they were saying. But whatever it was, it sounded like 2 people talking. Well, I thought we had somebody trying to steal from our tent, so I lit a firecracker, the little exploding kind, and threw it out the door, hoping to scare them away, thinking it's pistol fire. Well, this talk would stop momentarily, but pick right back up, and this went on until about daybreak. And once again, like the prior incident, it walked away in the brush.
Was it on your left or right from where we're standing?
It was straight in front of me. Be behind you over there. And this area here is really thick. Behind me is the Kaimashi River sits, 10, 12 miles down away from here. There's a lot of bear, a lot of cougar, a lot of hogs. But what we experienced that night was neither a bear, a hog, or a coyote, or a mountain lion. This was two-legged. It was bipedal. So I continue coming down here now and camping, looking around, hoping to catch a glimpse of whatever I seen running down the trail that night. And maybe tonight I'll get to experience it again. But it puts a fear in you like I've never had. I get the adrenaline so strong, it's a fight or flight mode. But it happens here a lot. But other campers tell me the same experiences. It's always coming back off from my right here. My right's a big mountain. We're sitting on top of a mountain, the tallest mountain in the area. Like right then, we just heard something, a tree knock.
It was a branch falling off.
The noise is going to start. When it gets dark, it's going to start. So hopefully we'll be able to talk a little more then.
All right, we just got done with the interviews. We're gonna eat and head to bed probably. Probably gonna walk around and talk about what happened at night probably, because I will not be recording. It is exactly 6:59. I think it's a Saturday, and I am here with my grandma, and continuing the documentary. She is. I'll show a picture right here. I'll do it post later. Anyways, that there was what was it again? It was a clump of hair.
A clump of hair that somebody, and it was stuck to the sign, which is right here. And it was a wad of hair, and it was kind of long, but I had the guts to walk up to it and smell it. And it smelled like Pantene shampoo. We use that Pantene shampoo. So that's what I thought was very strange, but it did look like a scalp, like from the
Was there
ball
any
of your
blood?
head. I didn't notice any blood, but Grandpa may have. I was more concerned about the grandkids that we had. We had gotten a cabin a little ways from here, and we love the Kaimashi Mountains. It is just beautiful. Best sleep I ever get. But yeah, we came down with a few of our other grandkids, and there was a hair stuck to that sign, and that was kind of creepy. But it's getting, the sun is starting to go down.
It is going down as we speak. What? Oh. I'm hearing leaves break back there. I am really terrified because I don't think there's a single town for another mile or two, like a good whiles away. So it is like pretty terrifying. You guys couldn't hear that, but I just heard like a leaf snap. I would say this is not like a joke. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. No. It is around 8 o'clock and it is pitch dark outside, and we are hearing limbs break. I would show you, but it's like pitch dark over there. I'm having my machete next to my bed, and I will film tomorrow. We camped about over there. I would say around 10:31. I heard noises, rocks being thrown, leaves breaking about over there to my left. If you turn back around, there I saw green eyes. I can't tell what animal it was. It's about small. Could be laying down, not much. We just kind of woke up from last night. It was kind of cold. I would say it wasn't really terrifying, but it was creepy nonetheless. And this is my tent.
deep in the Comanche Mountains. We camped here last night. We're about 6 miles in Wichita National Forest. About 4 million acres of just empty wilderness.
When's the nearest town? Where's the nearest town?
Nearest town is Hodgins, which is about 30 miles away. Nearest store is about 30 miles away. So we're deep in the woods. We had to drive down an old logging road to get here. Right now I heard something in the background walking. And this place is known for a lot of Bigfoot activity.
That's why we're here.
I do a lot of research, but other researchers come to the same spots because it's known. Now, last night we heard something coming back here. Directional wise, that's the north, so that's west. But back from the north of us is the higher mountain. We heard something howling. My wife heard something howling last night, deep in I was about 4 this morning. But I heard footsteps about 1. Then I fell asleep. But I've had so many experiences here. It can be quite scary here at night. When there is nothing here, if you look around, there is nothing. We're deep in the woods. If we had the emergency right now, it would take an hour to get us in. You can't even metaflight us out in time.
There's so many trees.
But this is ancient hardwood groves, and a lot of pine mixed in. But a lot of Bigfoot activity. Now, later on, we'll see if we can pick up any signs, any tracks, whatever. I'll track for us and see what we can find. But you have to kind of be on your toes here, because yesterday we met a hunter that killed a bear here, had the bear with him. But I've seen bears here, I've seen cougars here, I've seen wild hogs here. So this is really full of wildlife, big wildlife. Gotta stay on your toes. All right.
Walking. We saw a nest yesterday. We think it's for Bigfoot. And while we were walking, we heard like a growl. It was like terrifying and deep. It couldn't have been a bear. It couldn't have been. It can't be. But we're almost here. We are here at where we saw it, and we have found 2. There is one big nest right there, and then one right there. That one barely looks like a nest, but still.
Okay, here's something to ponder on.
There's still one right there.
Yeah.
I'm recording.
Something to stack that stuff in there.
Eagles aren't in no.
Eagles are here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, but I don't think they make that big of a nest. I believe we have a footprint. Right next to mine. It's huge. It's about where that pine cone is, all the way up to where that green spot is. It's pretty big. Another one. And another one. And a few more. We are walking where we found the footprints. We also heard growls. I mentioned that earlier. And last night when I was asleep, my grandparents heard a baby cry. But all the people left last night, so it's just us here in the woods. I can't zoom in any farther,
I couldn't either.
but there is something moving over there. Too tall. It's too tall to be a human.
Are you filming right now?
I'm filming. I think it's still now, but there's proof. This was one of the incidents where what happened? What? Yeah, sniffing her head. This is the place. Where was it? Point at.
Walk over here. The tent was between those 2 trees right there. No, it was right there, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
The tent was right here.
And all of this was grown up more than what it was today. We never heard him go out of the weeds. We didn't hear him come in.
Well, there was. Remember when I was young? Someone threw a rock from the trees. I would say.
Now, another campers were here. We talked to the next morning. A big old giant, one of these big giant trees got pushed over while they were sitting there. And there was no wind that morning, so trees just don't fall off. Not green trees. These weren't rotten trees. These were still growing trees. Got pushed over, and the tree's still right up here.
That's nice.
Yeah. You got to be strong to do that. That's about 9 foot up, maybe.
Another sign of
10
Bigfoot
foot up.
pushed over, but bears couldn't pull that out of the ground. It's still alive, so it's pretty hard to push. And if people says it's lightning, then why is the other trees not down? Pretty. Yeah, bears have done that, but something bigger could have done that. I'm not positive, but something, yeah, something right there just moved. It's not a tree. It's big though, as far as I can zoom in. That right there. Yeah, this one's done by lightning. That one, yeah, but anyways, I don't know what that is, but it's big. It's not a tree, and it's moving. We are being watched. If you don't know anything about nature, if the crickets stop and the crows say nothing, then there is something nearby. Grandparents are over there. But crickets stopped. So either someone's watching me or I better get out of here. I do not like it here. Walking for about a while now, and that's either another nest or something in there.